Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode I'm going to show you how to service the whole cooling system, the fan belt, the tensioners, the pulleys and the thermostat. If you want to see how this is done, stick around and I'll show you how. I want to talk you through the parts that we're going to be using in today's video. So this is the water pump. It comes with a gasket and the part number is 24205. Now the thermostat, which is super important because they get stuck open on these cars. I had the same with my Mercedes E220, which had the same engine, OM646. And part number for the thermostat is 102115. The tensioner, which is locked with the pin, and the part number for this damping tensioner is 26775. I've got two identical pulleys here, and these are part number 11276. I want to show you how to remove the belt in order to service the whole system here. So we're going to be changing these pulleys, the water pump and the thermostat. So the first thing you need is a T60 Torx bit, and this is, I believe, about 4mm, maybe 3 will do rightly as well. This is a pin that I'm going to use to lock this damping tensioner. So there is a place where you can insert this T60 here. Have your ratchet ready to go in reverse, and there's a little spot where you insert the pin. Okay, that's the pin inserted. Took me a few tries. It's very important to lock this if you're going to reuse this, otherwise it's going to be almost impossible to lock it once it's removed, unless you can clamp it in a vise, but it's too complicated, the spring is too strong. So now gently pull off the belt. So let's just slacken off the belt. Just remember the orientation, take a few pictures before you do that, because it will be very difficult to put the belt back on if you don't remember or you don't have a diagram. Now in the next step, I'm going to get a pick. I'm going to pull these two caps off, and then we're going to take this bolt off and remove these pulleys. Now they're super worn. These are the original ones. They keep on. This is 84,000 kilometers or 52,000 miles. So they're definitely worn, especially this one. This one is pretty badly worn. So let's take these off. That's one cap off. Two caps off. These bolts are T50. We're going to be reusing these bolts because the new pulleys don't come with new bolts, and they're absolutely like brand new. As you can see, no rust because of the caps, and also the car is so low mileage. Okay, now after we've locked the tensioner here with the pin, let's take the two bolts. These are E10. You've got two bolts in place, and in order to reach the second bolt, you're gonna have to obviously lock this tensioner as I showed you. That's the damping tensioner out. As you can see, these are original parts from day one from the factory. So we're going to reuse these two bolts. In the next step, we're going to remove these E10 bolts from here. They hold this metal cover. We're obviously gaining some space now in order to remove the thermostat, which is one of the bigger issues here. The engine is not heating up to normal operating temperature, so this thermostat is no good. It's stock open. It should be opening at 92 degrees, and this thing is sitting open the whole time, and the car is running at probably 60-70 degrees maximum. So just remember where these parts go, don't lose the bolts, be organized. I'm gonna keep all the bolts on this metal plate. I'm gonna start loosening these clamps here on the water pump. Loosen these too. Also do this one here as well on the thermostat housing. We're gonna need to remove this one here as well. This is 6mm bolt head. Now I'm gonna remove the water pump. Before I remove the water pump, I'm gonna remove the cap which is on top of the expansion tank and loosen this here. This will drain the radiator. It will drain all the coolant, so we're gonna actually replace the whole coolant in the car as well. So turn this anti-clockwise and you can even pull it out. Okay, let's start removing the big E12 bolts on the water pump. You've got some E10 and E12 bolts. These are not very tight. Now let's continue with the smaller ones, which are E10. The thermostat has 3 bolts and 1 electrical plug, so we're going to have to remove these. I've already done one. These are E10. I managed to squeeze in the ratchet with the socket from underneath the rail pressure sensor here under the cabling, and that allowed me to remove the 3rd bolt. So I'm gonna wiggle it now. I've removed the plug. That's that. We're gonna have to insert this bolt in the thermostat housing before we insert the thermostat in. So let's clean up everything here and install the new one. The new one comes with a new gasket, so you don't have to reuse anything apart from the bolts. I'm gonna take this out, and what I've done off camera is I tapped this hole here. This doesn't come tapped, and this is M6. And now let's put the stop bolt here in place, and let's try and install this. I'm gonna give everything a good wipe here with brake cleaner, and then we're gonna seal it in place. Always start the bolts by hand where you can. I know it's not always possible, but where possible try and do it by hand. Now I'm not going to tighten this one up completely. The correct torque spec for the E10 bolts on the thermostat is 10 Newton meters. Now, after we've installed the 3 bolts, we've torqued them to spec, we've plugged in the electrical plug. This here is all good. Let's install the hoses. There's a stop here, and you can rotate it so it's facing the correct orientation. You'll see it, you'll not get confused. Push this one in. Let's torque it. This is 6mm, this is 7mm, and you can adjust these clamps in order to make it easier for yourself next time if you're going to remove these. Now let's install the engine cover mount. This will grab the hoses. This is 10 Newton meters as well. In the next step, I'm gonna dampen this cloth with brake cleaner, and I'm gonna make sure I clean the surfaces for the water pump very well. There's literally no corrosion and almost no residue here. So this is the pump itself and the gasket. We've got paper style gasket here, so this is going to be this way. I've installed 2 bolts to hold the gasket in place. I've installed all M6 bolts. Now I'm going to install the bigger ones with the E12 heads. Now the torque for the big ones is 22 Newton meters, and the torque for the small ones, as usual, 10, because it's M6 bolt. This is the new tensioner that I'm going to be using. Part number is 26775. This is locked in place. There is instructions here for those of you who don't know. And this pin here, don't ever remove this before you install the tensioner in place. It's actually quite dangerous. You can nip your fingers pretty badly if you don't know what you're doing. Now I'm going to install the two pulleys, and these are part numbers 11276, both identical. I'm going to reuse the old bolts, and the torque for these is 45 Newton meters. I'm going to use a 10-liter bottle of pre-mix. This is part number 172003. So this is ready for minus 35 degrees the way it is. It's getting dark, so I don't want to take too long now before I have to release this pin. So basically I want to show you how I threaded the belt. So it goes on the top pulley, down out to the alternator, then it goes up to the water pump, down through the tensioner pulley, crankshaft, then goes up through the AC compressor, power steering pump, and the top pulley as well. So what I will do now, I'm going to insert the T60 into this tensioner and release the pin, remove the pin and release the tension. Now we're gonna start the engine just to make sure that there's no leaks, and then after this we're gonna place the cover back, and that's it, job done. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. If you do like the content, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.